We've hit the 7 o'clock hour on this Monday morning edition of Breakfast Television. We thank you for making us part of that Monday. We'll take a look right now at the stories that are making headlines at this hour. The typhoon has moved on, but the worst is far from over in the Philippines. Rescue efforts there continue, with as many as 10,000 people feared dead. Survivors left to pick up the pieces in their swamped, splintered communities. Typhoon Haiyan belted 6 central Philippine islands on Friday with winds of up to 250 kilometers an hour. Some analysts say it might be the strongest such storm in recorded history. Officials pegged the current death toll at 942, but that figure is expected to swell in coming days. It is believed the typhoon will be the deadliest natural disaster to ever hit that country. 600,000 people have also been displaced, with millions more impacted. Rescue efforts have been hampered by damaged roads, closed runways, and looting. Meanwhile, a weakened version of the storm made landfall in Vietnam this morning. And the impact of that massive storm is being felt across the globe, including right here in Edmonton. Members of the local Filipino community are appealing for help in what will be a staggering aid and rebuilding effort. Conchita Reyes' family is safe in the Philippine capital of Manila, but she's asking Edmontonians to donate to the Red Cross to help thousands who are trying to cope with a lack of water, food, shelter, and medicine.
I said, I'm here in Canada. I'm eating 3 times a day. And those people, they don't even have anything to drink or anything to eat. And that's why, I decided I want to do something.
The Council of Edmonton Filipino Associations held a fundraiser for victims of last month's earthquake as well. The group says it will hold another fundraiser to help those affected by the typhoon. The Canadian Red Cross, along with the Philippine Red Cross, are accepting donations. Alison Redford will be making a sales pitch on the Keystone XL pipeline to American politicians today. A premier, along with Minister Cal Dallas, are bound for Washington, D.C. There, they will be meeting with members of the U.S. State Department, senators, and the Canadian ambassador. The U.S. trip expected to last 3 days. They are expected to discuss the latest steps that the province has taken to reduce its environmental impact. The Keystone Pipeline would transport Alberta crude to refineries in the Gulf Coast. President Barack Obama has put off making a decision on that project until next year. This will be the Premier's 5th visit to Washington. There's no word if any of the businesses in a Southside commercial building will be open this morning after flames consumed a large swath of that second floor. A fire call came in for 92nd Street and 35th Avenue around 7 o'clock last night. It took crews about 30 minutes to bring the fire under control. However, they spent hours on scene cutting into the roof, making sure the fire was completely out. No one was injured, and damage on the upper floors is extensive. There's no word yet on what may have sparked the blaze. Well, some Edmontonians are speaking out to help those who may not be able to do the same. People gathered for a candlelight vigil to remember victims of bullying over the weekend. Organizers hope that it'll encourage anyone who witnesses that type of behavior to come forward and take a stand.
Please speak up, talk to somebody. If you're a bystander, you have a voice. Intervene. Bystanders are the agents for change.
The anti-bullying vigil was also held to remember John Holler. The 29-year-old died after he was brutally beaten on an LRT train last winter. Manwar Khan witnessed that beating on the train and tried to intervene. He helped organize the anti-bullying campaign. The province is unveiling a new way to honor servicemen and women. The new license plate has the yellow ribbon and "Support Our Troops" slogan. Each plate costs $150. All proceeds beyond production and registration will go towards helping members of the forces and their families right here in Alberta. The plates will be made available next year. And City Hall will be playing host to a Remembrance Day memorial today, but it was also host to a tribute on Sunday. The Royal Canadian Artillery Band brought a slightly less somber perspective to the Remembrance Day tributes. The free concert honored those Canadian veterans who served from World War I right up to present day. A performance dubbed Good Times aimed to capture the musical spirit of earlier eras. On sports, the Oilers hope some home cooking will help steer the team in the right direction after they wrapped up a disappointing road trip.
Nice. Here is Yakupov, and he scores. Nail Yakupov pulls the trigger and a power play goal.
The Oil were in the Windy City last night to take on the Stanley Cup champions, and they kept this one close to the end, including a shorthanded marker in the final couple minutes, but all told, it wasn't enough. They fall 5-4 to the Blackhawks. The Oilers lost 3 of 4 on their current road trip, but after having only had 6 home games through the first 19 games of the season, the good news is they'll be back at Rexall Place for 10 of the next 14. That all gets underway beginning Wednesday against the Dallas Stars. And the champions have been crowned at this year's Canadian Finals Rodeo.
And there's that bull spinning around to the left, and Chad is nicely in control, using that outside leg to get some money chops in and add to the score.
Clare's home Alberta's Chad Bestplug had the 3rd best score during yesterday's final go-round, which was good enough to give him the overall title in bull riding. Texas's Tibber Moore is this year's top down roping champion. Meanwhile, in bareback riding, CFR champ East Calgary's Matt Late. Clayton Moore of BC takes top honors in steer wrestling. The Alberta duo of Colton Schmidt and Tyrell Flueling were best in team roping, while South Dakota's Lisa Lockhart, untouchable in barrel racing. And Rylan Geiger of Saskatchewan takes top spot in the saddle bronc riding.